since it's like 10:30 a.m., we're just gonna continue on. And I did say that we were gonna go to the convenience store just to get some supplies, so we're gonna do that. Money still holds value, and if you have any chance of buying goods, you'll need to try sooner rather than later. Before leaving, you consider your primary and backup weapons, cleaver and compound bow. I'm curious, and I just want to take a look at the weapons. Oh, cool. Okay, we have a Beretta M9 pistol, a cleaver, compound bow, hammer, knife, machete, shovel. You know, I think we're still going to go with the compound bow. I am going to take the machete. And that's it. As you prepare to leave, you wonder if Woody should join you. Before you have a chance to decide, he clears his throat and glances up from the book he's reading. Heading out? Yep. Good luck out there. Best if I stay put and watch this place. My feet are something terrible with the miles I've put on them the past few days. Mind if I shower while you're gone? I'm really starting to kick up some odor. He sniffs his armpit and scrunches his nose. Ugh. You could certainly demand that he go with you, but you haven't known him long enough to argue. Also, he really needs a shower. That's fine. You say, hey, what's your cell number in case I need to reach you? Woody tells you the number and you plug it into your contacts. The closest store is in a strip mall down the road. Thelma's convenience store. Given the short distance, you could walk or drive there. Driving takes gas and draws attention, but a vehicle provides a way to carry home more supplies. Walk to Thelma, drive to... yeah, might as well drive to Thelma's. You walk outside, choose your vehicle. We should go with that. I don't know. Maybe go with the pickup truck? You pull the pickup truck away from your home and set out for the short drive to Thelma's. As you drive the road away from your house, several cars zoom past, speeding way above the limit. Hey, it's the zombie apocalypse. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about the speed limit. You stick close to the grass to allow cars to pass. Most stores are closed. The corner bakery where you often buy coffee is empty and dark, secured behind a metal gate with a sign in the window. Closed until further notice. While you stop to peek in the store, a truck screeches to a halt nearby, causing you to spin around. The driver leans out of the window, lays the shotgun over the hood, and points at a field 100 feet away. He fires, and a standing figure drops into the tall grass, a spray of blood leaving its chest as it falls. The driver turns to you and nods, gold tooth showing in his smile. Afternoon finally getting warmer. Nice weather. As you try to think of a reply, you spot movement in the field again. The driver lifts his shotgun, pumps it, and fires again, this time hitting the head of the figure and sending bone and brain flying off in a small explosion. Damn crazies, the driver says and revs the engine of his truck. Well, have a good day and stay alive. The truck pulls away from the curb and speeds down the road. You hit the gas and drive faster towards the store. Wow, okay, first of all, thank you, Mr. Truck Driver, for randomly shooting those zombies. That was insane. You reach the strip mall and spot movement outside Thelma's convenience store. A crowd of customers are congregating in a loose line leading to the boarded storefront. Outside by the door, a tall man in a leathery motorcycle jacket with a shaved head, long red beard, and biker boots is holding an axe in one hand and has a large revolver on his hip. As people progress in the line to the door, he lets them in one by one as each customer leaves. At least a dozen people are standing outside. Some carrying bags, some with weapons, and some pleading or arguing with others in the crowd. Several in back shout curses or yell disapproval at the wait time for being admitted into the crowded store. You even hear a few people hollering about the extremely high prices in the store. You park the pickup truck in an open spot a few car lengths down from the store. Before you reach the crowd, you spot an ATM. If this store has hiked up prices, you might need more money than you're carrying. Yeah, sure, just take out more, just in case. You walk up to the kiosk and slip your bank card into the slot. The ATM screen glows with a bright blue screen. Welcome to Bank of the USA. Oh, the USA. Wow, okay. It should have been a space or something because I did not read that right. Welcome, Chloe Thompson. Balance in US dollars, 312. Okay. Withdraw 100. Withdraw the maximum from my account. Maximum withdrawal limit of 2,500. We have 312. We should leave some in there just for emergencies. I think we should just take out 100. The ATM displays a new message. Withdrawing 100. New balance 212. As you step closer to Thelma's, the bouncer yells, "Back of the line!" You stepped into the last spot behind a bulky couple who you can barely see around. Forcing to wait, you study your surroundings. On the opposite corner of the street sits a National Guard jeep with 3 soldiers watching the area. A news helicopter soars far overhead. Its rotor is barely audible. A murmur comes from the crowd, and every so often gunfire sounds in the distance. 15 minutes pass, and in that time, 3 people have been allowed to the doors. Half a dozen more people are standing behind you. At this rate, you won't get in for at least half an hour or more. While you watch and wait, a woman passes the line, hands the bouncer at the door something too small for you to make out, and walks through the door. Hey, that's not cool. Well, what gives you special privileges to... Wow. I wait my turn. I don't want to risk losing my spot in line or getting kicked out. I wait my turn. It's the fair thing to do. Because we still got some humanity left in us, and it's the right thing to do. Time drifts by as you stand in your spot waiting your turn. The line creeps forward every 5 minutes. Fortunately, you're standing in the shade as the sun hasn't peaked yet. A half an hour passes before you make it to the front of the line, and finally the bouncer lets you in. Oh, finally! Past the double glass doors, Thelma's convenience store is bustling with movement, and amid the crowded checkout counters as aisles of products, the store is longer than it is wide, with 4 main aisles marked fruits, vegetables, protein, drinks, candy, cigarettes, cleaning products, and household goods, respectively. A central counter near the front is the sole checkout line, where a heavy-set woman bags goods and rings up sales for the waiting customers. Beside her stands a tall, wiry guard holding a shotgun and watching every movement through the line. A sign above the checkout area hangs in bold, black, spray-painted letters. Looters, thieves, and shoplifters will not be prosecuted. They will be shot. That's a good way of getting... Okay, alright, moving on. Positioned around the store in each corner are other towering guards armed with rifles and watching over every angle of the mart. On the far right rests a butcher's counter, where a slender woman carves up fresh meat, and behind her is a metal door leading to what you assume is a side alley. A chalkboard over a closed checkout line shows the prices of several items. Supplies are running out on popular items. All fruit, $55 each. Vegetables, $55. Chicken, $85? Jesus, that's a lot for chicken. Holy shit. I only have $100 with me. Cigarettes are $400. Alcohol $250. Soap $35. Bottled water $15 each. Wow, that is frickin' highway robbery right there. As you walk through the store, you... Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't want to risk it, but I'm going to shoplift some items, but still pay for other items. You grab a card, move through the store aisle by aisle. Since you drove, you're not worried about carrying home bags and bags of groceries. All of it will fit in your pickup truck. Moving through the narrow rows of shelves, you run your hands over the goods, picking up some here and there to glance at labels and consider the marked up prices. Supply and demand is definitely well understood by the owners of this store. With the outbreak's limitation on food and goods distribution, it's no surprise that the prices of even the basics are overinflated. As you push your cart down the next aisle, you check around for anyone watching and slip an item into your pocket. Know where they keep the ammunition? A voice says from behind. I haven't seen any, you say and turn toward the voice. The aisle is empty of anyone. After a quick tour of the store, you consider the items you want to buy. You'll place all of those items in your cart and pick out from the cart the ones you want to steal. Ah! Good lord, okay. Goods and carts so far empty. We have $150. Hmm. You'll place all those items in your cart and pick up from the cart the ones you want to steal. I'm so confused. Okay. First of all, I am not paying $35 for soap. Oh wait, that's like $12. That's understandable. Wait, I'm so confused. You buy 2? Price of goods in cart $7.70. I want to get rid of the soap. Well, crap, it's too late. Toilet paper. We need toilet paper. I don't know how much we can get. We buy 1. Okay, we're at 95. We should buy some fruit, but it's so expensive. Bottled water, candy bar, soda. Oh, I would kill for some soda. Toilet paper, soap, shampoo. Okay, we will get some fruit. Need some herbs. Get fruit and... Okay, we can only buy 1. Oh, really? That comes up to exactly 150? Well, I guess we're done. End shopping. Now that you've shopped for your items, you select those to hide so you don't pay for them on the way out. Okay. Number of goods stolen so far. Steal the fruit. What? Okay. Number of stolen goods so far. Risk 12%. That's not okay. Oh boy. Bar of soap. Roll of toilet paper. Risk it. 14%. I mean, that's not really bad. Thinking about the items you've hidden so far, you doubt anyone would detect your stealing if you try to leave. Okay, that's all I'm gonna steal. That's bad. Stealing is bad. Don't follow what I'm doing here, kids. It is not a good thing. Finally finished shopping, you navigate the cart around the last aisle and push it to the checkout line. A tall, thin man in a sleeveless t-shirt with the logo for the Red Mamba Bike Club directs you forward. A short-barreled shotgun hung from a strap over his shoulder. You glance up and to the right where a woman stands in a tower aiming a scoped rifle down at a checkout lane. Your wait is short as the young man in front of you pays for a roll of duct tape and a single banana and leaves the store. Next, please, and thanks for shopping at Thelma's, the checkout woman says, and by her name tag, this must be the Thelma. She's middle-aged with red blonde hair and an angled nose like a cartoon witch, but with an inviting smile and slight giggle into her speech. On her upper arm is a tattoo of a red snake and the letters RMBC. She must be part of the bike club. It's getting crazy outside. Glad you got to shop before we close up. Thelma hits a button on the register. You empty your cart onto the conveyor belt, and Thelma is quick to scan each item. Find everything you need? She asks. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we did. Just getting on her good side. Thelma giggles. Ma'am? I haven't been called ma'am in years, but I like it. You're polite. Yeah. The register dings as it finishes the checkout. Thelma takes in each item off the end of the conveyor belt and carefully stacks them according to size and weight, fitting them all into one bag. As you pass the checkout counter, you breathe a sigh of relief as no one has caught you stealing. They don't seem to suspect anything. Whew, okay. Thelma squints at the small display on the register. Let's see, the damage is 70. Grab your bags to carry outside with multiple bags to carry. You waddle through the double glass doors. You stride past the line of customers waiting to enter Thelma's. Even more people have shown up, and an extra bouncer stands by the door to keep some sense of order. Tension hangs in the air as the agitated people wait like coiled snakes ready to attack the store. The murmur of their voices, a constant buzzing, their angry shouts, an exclamation point. You hurry along the sidewalk to your pickup truck and place your shopping bags on the flatbed. Once they're settled into the driver's seat, you spend a few minutes taking out the items you stole from their hiding places. As your pickup truck pulls away from the curb, you see a commotion from the crowd in front of the store as those waiting to go inside push closer to the door. Shouts of "let us in" mixed with curses and threats, until a rock sails over the mob and strikes the wall just above the bouncer's head. He raises his shotgun and fires once into the air. From across the street, gunfire erupts from the National Guard station. You stop at the corner and watch as a pack of the undead trek down the avenue towards the noise from Thelma's. Bullets strike their deceased bodies, sending them into a dance of twitching and jerking as they stride forward. Headshots finally stop them, and they tumble to the ground, some still alive and crawling towards the guard post. With the way clear, you press the gas and drive down the avenue towards home. Arriving home, you walk up the front porch leading to the open door. As you climb the steps to your home, you listen for any sounds from inside, but you only hear the gustling wind through your home and deep, heavy breathing, standing just outside the doorway. Command any intruder still inside to surrender. I have no idea. You step into the open doorway and call out in a deep, commanding voice. This is Chloe Thompson. I order you to come out now with your weapons down and hands raised. You have until the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Come out now. You hear no reply and no movement from inside. Time passes as you wait and listen. Several sounds return. A light hissing of wind, a rustle of curtains, and then a soft growl. Ugh. You lean in further and your skin prickles as the last noise, a deep and repetitive murmur made from low in the throat. With no one answering your call and no other sounds coming from the room, you walk through the open doorway. Your eyes adjust to the dark room and you scan for any movement. You see no one preparing an ambush or aiming with a pistol or robbing your home. The only person you notice is Woody. He's on the couch, slumped in a seated position. Hands and feet bound in ropes. Wait, what the fuck? Why? Why is Woody bound in ropes? Confident that all is clear, you cross the living room and kick Woody's foot to wake him. Woody, you whisper. His eyes pop open and he snores himself awake and stretches against the ropes. Oh hey, you're back. It's been a while since these two broke in and tied me up. What? You survey the room. Some mud has been tracked inside and darkens your carpet. And of course the front door is damaged. Nothing appears broken or even out of place, though you see items missing from your inventory. It's only been a few days of this outbreak, and already people are breaking in. Yeah, we're either turning into zombies or losing our minds. Hey, can you untie me now? As you lean over to check Woody's binds, a thought crosses your mind. What do you really know about Woody? You're usually not cynical, but it's hard not to be in the apocalypse. Could Woody have let people into your home and then concealed it by pretending to be tied up? Woody's breathing is fast but even, and his body language is fairly relaxed. Nothing tells you he's lying, and since he is James' cousin, you have every reason to trust his story while Woody struggles to sit up. Tell me what happened during the break-in. You reach down to Woody's wrists and pull apart the tight knots. His wrists are red where the twine rubbed his skin, and he squirms as you untie him. Once his hands are free, he works on the ropes binding his ankles. Thanks very much. I was losing feeling, he says, and he rubs his legs. So, what happened? You ask and take a seat on a lounge chair near the staircase. Woody lifts a plastic container to his lips and drinks half of the liquid inside. Once finished, he drags his arm across his face, drying his mouth on his shirt sleeve. I was upstairs preparing for a shower when I heard some tapping and scrapping at the door. When I went to the window up there to look out, I saw 2 fellers at the door, a tall one with a real sweet, thick black and gray beard and a mean stare, and a real string bean that could be his son. As Woody describes them, images of Sam and Peter Makarov hop in your head. I take it by your twitching that you know those 2, Woody says and sits back on the couch. They're neighbors from down the street. I can't believe they actually broke in. Woody takes a deep breath and nods. Sorry to say it, but they weren't here to hang curtains. He had a crowbar and tools, and the big feller had a rifle on his back. I ran downstairs and yelled through the door to tell them to leave. When they didn't go, I went to the front door. I ran to the front window and knocked on it to grab their attention. The skinny one laughed and pointed at me while the bearded one dug back in with the crowbar. It didn't take long for him to force the door open. Woody points to a broken piece of wood hanging from the door jamb. While they were coming in, I threw my clothes back on and ran to grab a weapon. But they were too fast. Maybe if I wasn't half naked and downstairs, I could have stopped them. And that tall one was quite a sprinter, legs like a cricket. Anyway, the old man aimed his 30-06. I gave up. The tall one tied me up while the other one robbed you. I'm not even going to question it. I still can't believe they broke into my house, you say, and look around the living room. Most of your goods and supplies are gathered near the dining room, and you count through the missing items. A few pillows from your couch. All of your bandages, a bottle. What? Really? What? They stole all my alcohol? Ugh. I can't believe it. 5 mechanical parts, 2 packs of batteries. A throw rug. After your search of the inventory in your living room, you head into the kitchen. Cabinets are opened and several boxes and containers of food are turned over, empty or missing. The refrigerator door sits open, creating a constant low hum as it tries to remain cold. A quick check reveals a good portion of food has been taken. You close the door and the hum dies out. Now that you've checked, it appears 12 units of food have been taken. Are you fucking kidding me? We have 2 food units left. Luckily, you still have what you bought from Thelma's, and you add the items to your inventory. You squeeze your eyes shut as a sudden buildup of pressure sets into your temples. In the darkness, a vision of Sam and Peter Makarov swirls. They break in through your door. You pick through your home like it's a Walmart, shopping for items at their leisure. How could they do this? You open your eyes and pace the room, feeling your anger rising like a wave. Are you going to let them get away with this, with stealing from you? You know what? No. No, I'm not going to let them get away with stealing from me. Returning to the living room, you see Woody standing by the door, staring at the damage done to the front door. He runs a hand along the frame and knocks on the area around the areas of wood and brick. I can patch this up if you want, he says, turning to face you. The marks on his wrists have dulled to a lighter shade of red. I hid my bag behind the couch before those 2 thieves came in, and I could use my tools to fix this up. That might help. Let me think about our next steps, you say. Woody lifts his backpack from behind the couch and drops it onto the floor. Where do those fellers live, anyways? Just down the road on the opposite side. Just as the bend cuts sharp and right and passes that huge unkept field. Woody nods, deep in thought. So what are you going to do about these neighbors? I don't know either of them from Kenny Rogers. But we need a plan, Woody says, slapping his leg and raising his voice. They took their liberties with your home. And though I'm not a man of violence, a response to their unlawfulness seems justified. They won't get away with it all justice for what they did, but need time to make a plan. I'm going to Sam's house right now to guarantee that they'll never rob me again. You know what? I will put a little force. I'm not going to be nicey nice right now. I got no reasons to be nice. So I'm just gonna go for it. A wide smile grows on Woody's face. Well, alright. I'm not one normally for such bravado, but these neighbors of yours need a comeuppance. Whatever that word was. Woody reaches deep into his bag and draws out several long metal pieces, which you quickly identify as parts of a rifle. He fits the parts together and uses a screwdriver-shaped tool to fasten them. I had no idea you had a weapon, you say. Woody keeps working at assembling the rifle. The weapon appears to be a Winchester Model 94. A common lever-action repeating rifle. Never came up casual. Morning before I showed up here, I made my way past a church that was handing out food and supplies. So I stopped off to refuel and helped them out for a few hours. On my way out, the preacher gave me this Winchester. I figured I'd break it down. People out in the world get jumpy around an armed redneck. Okay. So I guess you're going with me, you ask. Heck yeah, like I said, those two fellows need to learn some manners. As Woody prepares his own weapon, you consider the weapons you're holding. Compound bow and machete. I'm gonna go with the machete, but I'm going to take my pistol. Pistol. And machete. Hopefully that doesn't break. Ready to go, Woody says, leaning the rifle over his shoulder. You leave your home, closing the door as best you can given the damage. The sunlight shines bright, allowing you to see all the way down to the Makarov home. Though you see no infected in the vicinity, you strain to hear them in the air. The noise mix and swell, and you can't tell if that subtle warble is from zombies or the normal background sounds of the country. Along the main road, you creep along, hidden in the shadows. Already the homes in the area are showing signs of abandonment and disrepair. Lawns and fields growing untamed. Even the squawk, caw, and hum of the country wildlife have gone silent. As you approach the Makarov house, the sound of a zombie echoes and fades. You check the area and see no movement, but the noise was made not far away. Pressing in, you draw closer to the home and see no signs of anyone inside, and no lights. Other than thick blankets covering the windows, nothing seems to have changed. How do you want to do this? Woody asks, rubbing his sleeve of his shirt across the smudged barrel of the rifle. Sure, bang on the door and demand they give their stuff back. You stride toward the porch of the Makarov home, but feel a hand on your shoulder holding you in place. Hold on a sec, Woody says, moving in front of you. Going up to the door and making demands will get us shot up. The old man knew his way around the rifle, and they didn't act like the kind of fellers that take well to threats. You knock Woody's hands off your shoulder. Look, they broke into my house and stole my food and other stuff. Hell, they tied you up. Woody, we're going to get my stuff back. And if they refuse, we fight. If you don't want to do it, fine, go back to my house and get your stuff and go. I guess we're doing this. Woody turns his rifle to a point at the house. Let's go. You order and dash to the front porch of the Makarov home. When you make it to the front door, you hammer the surface with the heel of your hand. Hey, Sam Makarov, come out here now. Only the long call of an infected answers from the distance. You swallow hard and rap on the door again, this time with more force. Sam, I want back what you stole from us now. As your voice dies down, Woody reaches across your body to the doorknob and twists it. It opens. He looks at you and shrugs, eyes wide. Pushing the door open, you enter the home. Your eyes adjust to the dark interior and scan for targets, but you see no one. The living room is sparse with the furniture pushed to one side, and otherwise it appears empty. Closets are open and bare, bookshelves barren, and no other personal items lie about. Everything you'd expect inside a home is missing. Either someone looted these looters, or they skedaddled, Woody says, and rests his rifle over his shoulder. Also, that was an airplane flying by, and I felt the vibrations on my wall. That was pretty darn weird. That's why I paused a little bit. After a thorough search of the property, you find nothing of value. Not a crust of bread, an ounce of soap, nor a single scrap of paper. The beds are stripped of the mattresses, the drawers have been emptied of clothes, and the kitchen cupboards have been cleared. You do find a container of something green and moldy in the back of the refrigerator, which Woody insists upon smelling, only to dry heave a moment later. With nothing gained from the excursion, you leave the Makarov home. A heavy breeze flows outside, blowing bits of hay and cut grass across the field. The sounds of animals in the distance have replaced those of the infected, at least for now, and the smell of dung tells you horses have come by this way. Oh, horses! I love horses! As you walk, you spot a woman on the hood of a silver hybrid now parked directly outside the Makarovs. It's Kelly Klein. She smiles as you draw near, and a wisp of her jet black hair blows in her face. I'm Kelly Klein, Prime News at 5, she says to Woody. Her pale skin and darkly painted red lips give her an almost vampiric appearance, and she wears a tank top with the logo of the band The Centennial. Her arms are sleeved in tattoos from cartoon figures to traditional Japanese. Her wrists are red and chapped, just like Woody's. Name's Woody. It's a real pleasure, ma'am, he says, his back straight and chin up like he's at attention in military formation. Are you Native American? My mother's side is part Cherokee. Why? Kelly says in an annoyed tone. I'm a student of all things related to the culture of your mother's people. You shoot a glance at Woody. Are we really discussing this now? Not the time or place, he says, then stares at the ground. What are you doing out here? You ask Kelly. The Makarovs broke into my house and robbed me, she says, her face contorted in a scowl. I was in my bedroom early this morning and I heard some noise in the living room. I threw on clothes and grabbed my gun and spotted Sam Makarov digging into my refrigerator like he had an invitation. I aimed my pistol at him, and then his sleazeball son put a rifle to the back of my head. They tied me up, and we went through my house and took all kinds of things. Things I needed to survive. And the younger one, he kept staring at me in a strange way. I got the impression that if Sam wasn't there, Peter would have hurt me or something. She slams her hand on the hood of her car and sighs in frustration. They must have targeted me for accusing Peter of being infected. They robbed my house too, and actually tried to help Sam and Peter when that mob was outside their home. So they were just a pair of dirtbags, Kelly says. I was wrong about Peter being infected, but I knew something shady was up with that kid. And when I got out of the twine they used to tie me up, I came here to confront them. They're gone. House empty like moving day. I mean, bedding was gone, sofa cushions, picture frames, only those blankets on the windows remain. Their truck is gone, too. Pathetic. They robbed us and took off with all of their possessions, and ours as well. I don't know what I'm going to do now, Kelly says. She scratches her chapped wrist with long black fingernails. They took my food, gear I was collecting if I need to leave town, my money. And they didn't just break my lock on the front door, they stripped it off. All I could do to keep it closed was prop its speaker against it. I can give you some food and supplies to help for now. I say she needs help, but I can't offer more than that. Well, we can't really give her that much. We can work together. Well, Kelly starts, and then she looks skyward. I'm heading out of town. I got in touch with my cousin in Monument, and he said I can stay with him. With that, you part ways with Kelly and start on the way home without a feeling of satisfaction nor a true end to this episode in a day in the life of surviving the apocalypse. As you walk, you come upon Tommy Monroe's house. The windows are broken, door hangs open and busted along the middle of its length, and trash litters the entryway. Staring inside, you see no one, and the place is in shambles. Know who used to live here? Woody asks, also peering through the open door. I knew the family, you say. They're gone. No one lives here now. Maybe we should give it a look in case there's still supplies left, Woody says. Let's go, you say, and start towards home. There's nothing in there for us. You take the lead for the short distance back to your house, thankful to see the door intact with no signs of a break-in. Okay, then. Well, it's 1:45. What do we do now? I don't know. Maybe we'll just read a book. Oh, it's the book that we've been reading. I was so up for reading more of that. Again, you walk to a quiet spot with planet battles, opening to the last bookmark you read. Ringo stumbled across the rocky banks of the volcano, holding his laser lance high to defend against incoming attacks. The body of the first Shadow Knight sunk into the lava with deep hiss, and he walked away before it disappeared. There were two left, he thought, and he searched the stone reach for any signs of his pursuers. Though he had defeated one, the wound in his stomach was deep, and he needed time to heal. How could I survive against the other two, he wondered. A natural bridge of rock formed over the lava stream, and Ringo staggered over it on weak legs. As he stepped back onto the volcanic ground, he heard the distinct voices of the two Shadow Knights. He must be here somewhere. His scent is strong. Ringo Darkstar gripped the handle of his laser lance and took a deep breath. If I charge them now, I'll have the element. He spotted a tiny translucent orb hovering just above a pile of ash and a lava rock. Though anyone else would have missed the nearby invisible object, Ringo had been trained to detect such anomalies. With its power, not only could he heal his wound, but he'd have the energy to defeat both enemies. After an hour of reading, you close the book. Oh man, I am seriously enjoying reading that book. Oh, the phone rings. Wow, okay. Your smartphone rings and you answer without hesitation. Chloe, a hurried voice says before you have a chance to say, well, Chloe, it's me. I need help. You recognize Jamie's voice. He sounds out of breath and a series of harsh, shrill screams fill the background. What's wrong? I can barely hear you. Through the line, a door slams and you hear rushing wind and the squawking of birds. Listen, Chloe, Jamie says, huffing with the deep breaths. I made it to the roof. I'm safer now. I was only a mile or so from your house, but they came up on me. They shot at me, clipped my shoulder, but I made it into a high school. You know the one, Chipper Ridge High. Problem is, I don't know how I'm getting off the roof. Zombies are all over the place. They chased me until I climbed a work ladder on the 4th floor. I've got some food and water, but I'm not sure how long it'll last. Plus, I can see the parking lot from here, and their Jeep is still there. I went to ask if I knew another way, but can you come get me? Jamie's your best friend, and you need to no other reason than that to leave now and save him. He's always been there for you. Hell, he was coming to your house to help you survive this damn apocalypse. Who's chasing you? What's going on? Dylan and his group. I can't explain now. Please, you gotta help me. I'm on my way, Jamie, you say. Stay on the roof. I'll be there as soon as possible. Thanks, Chloe, he says, and in the background the sounds of close gunfire ring out. The call ends and you know what needs to be done. You step to your pile of gear and separate those items you need for the job. You shove your most important items in the backpack, roll up a duffel bag and stuff it in there as well to use for carrying and supplies you might find. Woody comes in from the kitchen, his face showing concern as he watches you moving hurriedly around the room. What's up? I heard you talking. It's Jamie. He's in trouble. Trapped on the roof at Chipper Ridge High School. I don't know the details, but people were chasing him and he's stuck on the roof. I need to get him. Woody strides to the couch and reaches behind it for his backpack. He takes out his rifle and straps it to his back, a look of focus on his face. You take one last look around for any gear you're forgetting and hope you won't be gone for too long. The longer you're away, the greater chance someone tries to break in. With all preparations made, you consider your weapons you're holding. M9 pistol and machete. That's good, we're going to keep those weapons. You leave your house, locking it securely, and start your journey towards Chipper Ridge High. Clouds blanket the sky in one perfect gray sheet, and the wind has calmed. A crack of gunfire splits the air in the distance. Woody balances a rifle over his shoulder and glances toward the horizon. Dirt covers a large stretch of the field by your house, and thick black tire tracks make a zigzag over your driveway. Riding to your destination will be faster and less of an effort, but it will also raise your visibility. Steal a car to drive to Chipper Ridge High. We'll drive the 4-door sedan. Wait, you cross the road from your home and spot a pickup truck in your neighbor's driveway, and a 4-door luxury sedan. That was English. Along the road sits a large tractor with a glass-encased cab and 4 huge tires that look to be in solid condition. Yeah, we'll drive the sedan. A rather average car, the sedan offers good maneuverability while being durable and providing space for numerous passengers. You and Woody settle into the sedan and you pull out of your driveway and pull around a burnt-out delivery truck. You slow down long enough to see the supplies have been looted clean. Further along the road, you steer around a knock-over tree, behind which the half-torn body of a disfigured corpse sticks out from the massive trunk. A state trooper van passes the intersection and mounted loudspeakers play a recorded message. The city has instituted a mandatory quarantine. Return to your homes and stay locked inside until further details. You drive on, sticking to side streets. Human and infected carcasses lie everywhere, filling the country like a vast open cemetery. As your sedan rolls onto the main highway, you smell an overwhelming acrid charcoal odor and soon pass an enormous pile of burning corpses, flames still poking up from the top. Several figures in hazmat suits hold lit metal pipes over the bodies, and a garbage truck, like the one you saw coasting past your home, empties its cargo of infected dead. You speed past a bonfire, covering your face with your arm, and it soon disappears as you circle the next bend in the road. The highway opens to multiple lanes, but now resembles an immense junkyard of abandoned and wrecked vehicles. You advance through the maze of metal, moving slowly enough to avoid collision while keeping enough speed to make progress towards the school. Every 100 feet or so, you spot a figure wandering around the cars. You maintain your course, knowing Jamie needs you. Reaching the off-ramp to the exit closest to the school, you pick up speed on the clear road. Movement in the side street draws your attention, and you make a sharp left to avoid collision. Tires screech and the heavy roar of a motor shocks your eardrums. A black Jeep-like vehicle misses your front fender by an inch, and through the other car's dark glass, you spot an older man in a green helmet driving and a massive man in the back seat holding a shotgun. Oh my god, it's them. It's them, isn't it? With little room left on the ramp, you veer onto the city street. You pick up speed, and the Humvee pulls beside your sedan. The window rolls down, and the large man pokes the barrel of his 12-gauge out, and he turns his head. You spot the tattoo of a demon's head on the side of his face from eye to chin. Are you frickin' kidding me? We're gonna get robbed again? Pull over, he yells. And the Humvee swings in closer, almost touching the side of your vehicle. Numerous cars lie across the narrow road, and hunks of debris from broken vehicles litter the path. Chipper Ridge High School stands only a few blocks away, and with a number of obstacles on the road, you might be able to maneuver the bandits and escape. You could fire at the bandits, hopefully scaring them off. You could also try to ram their vehicle and force them off the road, allowing you to drive away. Tattoo Face in the back seat leans through the window, points a shotgun at your sedan's rear tire, and fires. The Humvee twists around an open manhole cover, causing the shotgun to miss, and you quickly decide to... Ha! Okay. Tell Woody to fire at the bandits while I focus on driving. Yeah, do that. Go do it. You can't drive at this speed around obstacles and expect to stay alive. Time for Woody to prove his worth. You step on the gas and push the sedan around a tipped-over sports car. The Humvee clips the edge of the downed car and sends it spinning like a top until it crunches into the side of an auto repair shop. You hear the crack of glass and thump of metal on metal, and from your rearview mirror you spot bullet holes poking through the side panel of your sedan. Woody, I need you to take that driver out. I'll do what I can to keep them off of you, but you need to stop them, you yell. Woody leans out of the sedan's window and raises his rifle, but before he can aim and fire, the shotgun blasts hit the side door. Woody lets out a low-pitched growl and throws his body back inside. They got me pinned down, he yells, keeping a watch through the side mirror. Fear washes over his face, and you know it because you feel it too. Your sedan speeds forward and zigzags through metal debris in a downed traffic light. Up ahead, the road widens to 2 lanes, and the Humvee swerves to maneuver around your vehicle. Woody, I know how this looks, but I need you to fire at that driver, you say in a calm voice. I'll pull alongside the Humvee and give you a chance to shoot. Move behind me, and I'll get us lined up. Woody stares at the Humvee with no reaction to your words, his eyes glaze in thought. We don't have a choice. This is our only way out of this. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Okay, he stammers. You speed the sedan ahead of the Humvee and cross in front of it. As it tries to pull along the driver's side again, you twist your steering wheel and take a narrow side street. Keeping parked cars on the left of your sedan, the Humvee races forward. Matching your speed, and Tattoo Face opens the rear window facing your passenger side. Though you're watching the road to keep from hitting the debris and the many vehicles, you spot Woody aiming at the Humvee. The Humvee's windshield shatters and the driver recoils from the spray of shattered glass. Fear washes over his face, but he maintains control of the Humvee. In the meantime, Tattoo Face fires his shotgun, peppering the back of your sedan. You speed up around a large tangle of metal on the road until you reach another clear stretch. By now, Woody has climbed through the car to the seat behind you and is sticking his rifle through the shattered rear window. The Humvee roars forward, sideswiping the back end of your sedan, which shakes and swerves on the road. An Acme truck fills with your windshield, and you slam the brakes and veer to the right just before colliding with it. Tattoo Face's shotgun fires, hitting the rear window, which explodes inward, raining hard glass on Woody. Luckily, he ducked to avoid the shards. Die, you son of a moose ass, Woody shouts. What? Okay, then. Alright, he spins and raises the rifle, his teeth gritted at his eyes, showing the focus of a man enraged. You drop the speed in the sedan until it's side by side with the Humvee. Woody jams the barrel of the rifle through the broken side window and fires. The driver's head flips sideways and a blast of blood sprays the interior of the Humvee, which swerves in a wide S until it crashes into the side of a convenience store. "Got that muskrat-faced deer turd," he shouts. Wow, okay. You steady your vehicle for the last half mile to Chipper Ridge High School. Okay, first of all, the names. Wow. Woody. Wait, alright, of course, you're a redneck. Is that really what rednecks call people? Like that? I'm sorry, that was probably a bad thing to say. I apologize. You pull your sedan through the iron gates into the Chipper Ridge High School parking lot and then park a few far distance from the main school building to avoid being spotted by any bandits or zombies near the entrance. It's surreal to see the school like this. You haven't been back to see your alma mater since you graduated a few years ago. A few figures stagger around random parts of the lot, their motion indicated with the living dead. On the far side of the building, a crowd of undead wanders along the basketball court. The air carries their tragic moans and the wind howls in gusts that blow trash and dead leaves across your path. A floodlight shines over the front entrance, illuminating the school's logo and an image of Chester, the Chipper Ridge beaver. With the lights turned on, the power must still be running in the old building. A jeep sits just outside the border of light, and a man stands in the back leaning on a mounted machine gun. "This is a mess out here, more dead than I expected," Woody says, his eyes locked upon the crowd in the basketball court. "Sure, I expected some, but things have gotten far worse. And if this number predicts what's inside, we're going to have a heck of a time getting Jamie out." You move closer to the front entrance, keeping low behind bushes and parked cars and using the trees to block you from sight. From 100 feet away, you can see several dead bodies lying near the jeep, their heads bashed apart, small pools of blood staining the concrete. The gunner takes puffs from a cigar and watches the parking lot, free hand tapping the metal head of the massive gun. To get Jamie, you need to enter the building, but if you get close to the entrance, the gunner will certainly spot you. You quickly consider your options. You could forget this entrance and find another way inside. Of course, the more you search, the greater risk of the crossing paths with a zombie. You could cause a distraction in the parking lot and draw the gunner away, sneaking to the entrance once he's gone. Finally, there's always the option to deal with him yourself. Shoot him from cover. This is a bad idea. It's too dangerous to leave the gunner outside. He could spot you running into the building, or he might wander inside at some point and be one more bandit to deal with. Taking him out now while you have the element of surprise seems the best option. While you stand and wonder about the best way to proceed, you reconsider all the options just to be thorough. With the gunner unaware of your presence, you should be able to take him out before he can react. You extend the M9 pistol and brace your arms over the base of the statue, aiming the barrel at the gunner's broad, hairy chest. He takes a puff of his cigar and rubs the end of the machine gun with the palm of his other hand. That's weird. Woody swings his rifle around and aims down the barrel. If I can get a shot, I'll take it. You grip the M9 pistol and squeeze the trigger. With a loud pop, the gun fires and misses wide to the right. Shit, of course. I knew we were gonna miss. He flinches and spins around, eyes scanning the area. Woody's rifle fires, sending a spark off the top of the machine gun. Dang it, too low. The gunner swivels the machine gun and peers to the mounted sights. You fire again and sparks flare at the top of the heavy gun. The gunner jerks away from the blast and the machine gun erupts in a flurry of bullets, peppering the ground 20 feet to the left of you. Excited growls fill the night air, and from the basketball court, the mass of zombies now rush towards the front of the school in full sprint. The gunner spins the machine gun towards the zombies, and the barrel lights up as the living dead pick up speed. You cover your ears as the explosion of noise hammers your eardrums. The first line of zombies fall as the bullets hit, and the running dead behind them stumble over the bodies of their fallen brethren. With the gunman distracted, you race towards the building, sticking to the perimeter lined with shrubs and blooming flowers. You keep low and rush to a waist-high stone wall, using it to keep out of the direct line of sight from the gunner. He fires at the next bunch of undead, but their numbers seem endless. You keep to the gunner's back as he fires, laying waste to the advancing undead. You hit the long, low ropes Rose steps outside the school's entrance and slowly approaches to creep behind the jeep. Woody runs in a straight path around parked cars and through a short stretch of mowed grass until he reaches the front of the school. As the gunner focuses upon killing the zombies, we gotta go get what's-his-face, Jamie. No, you know what? We should kill him. I have too much honor to shoot the gunner in the back. I honestly don't want to kill him. But he could be a danger. I don't know. Kill the gunner when his back is turned. With the gunner focused upon the undead, he has no way to stop your attack. You raise your M9 pistol and fire once into his back. He slumps over the machine gun, which sends out a final burst into the lead zombie. As the horde nears the jeep, you take your leave and enter the steel doors of Chipper Ridge High School. Oh, boy. Okay. The school's lobby shows the true impact of the apocalypse. As the dead canvass the building's ground floor lobby like a field of war after a battle, the bodies of teenagers, easily several dozen, lie scattered across the tile floor. Dried blood costs most of the floor in a muck. Ripped banners for a school-wide fundraiser cover several of the dead, and hundreds of bullet castings litter the entrance. On the far corner at the double doors of an office, the charred remains of burnt bodies sit in a pile, some still smoldering. You cover your nose at the awful stench of the rotting and the refused. Woody paces along the wall, hands on his hips, unable to look at the side of the lobby. As you stand at the front of the lobby, one pile of corpses shifts, and you quickly move to the far wall where a path through the dead lies toward a side hallway. Past the doors, the hall is silent and empty, and you stop for a moment to collect your thoughts. On the wall hangs a map of the school. The building has 3 wings, with the north and east one ascending 8 to 10 stories. Jamie said he's on the 4th floor roof, which means he's in the west wing. There's no direct path to the roof, but there are multiple routes to the school. You might even have opportunities to search for useful gear to help rescue Jamie and to survive in this damn apocalypse. Between the zombies and the bandits, you'll certainly face a confrontation at some point. The real question is, what's the best way to reach him? The map shows one path leading up the southwestern stairwell past the cafeteria on the 2nd floor. Since the outbreak occurred a day ago, there will be food left in the kitchen, and you could stop there and scavenge. You imagine a cafeteria to be well populated, so there's a high chance of zombies in that area. Instead, you could travel through the library on the northwestern end of the school. Starting on the 1st floor, the library actually consists of 2 floors, meaning you could avoid the stairwell. From what you know of libraries, they have fewer people than cafeterias. However, they're typically packed with rows of bookcases and furniture, so making it through the area could be tricky. Plus, the zombies could be hiding at any turn. Okay, to avoid detection by zombies, or to avoid a bigger detection from zombies, going to go through the library. That way there will be less commotion. You rush through the school lobby and locate the Tanya Milford Memorial Library. Double wooden doors are cracked and unhinged, and in the shallow doorway a human corpse lies hacked and ravaged. His face torn off, flies swirl around the body, and the smell is ripe and rotten. Blood covers the floor from wall to wall, and you have to step over it to enter the library. Reminds me of the slaughterhouse, Woody says. First time I visited my Uncle Buford's slaughterhouse. I was 9 years old. Had to wear my pa's boots, which reached up to my thighs, and all that muck and bites. Bites? All that muck and bits dirtied them up good. I went in there and started gagging. It only got worse the deeper I went. Never shook that smell or the sight of what those butchers were doing in there. Slaughterhouses are a nightmare, and I absolutely hate them. I can get into an entire story and start ranting about slaughterhouses. But to stay on everyone's good side, I'm just going to continue moving on with the story. You step into the front of the library amid trash and torn books, and a sizable checkout desk sits on your right, adorned with the body of a young girl. Her body is ripped open to expose her spinal cord. A pencil sticks out of her eye, which must be preventing her from rising as the undead. Ew. Woody turns away from the girl like a flask, lifts a flask from his belt and takes a quick swig. When he sees you watching him, he moves a metal container to your hands, and you take a sip of lukewarm water. A deep animal growl echoes through the library, and you duck behind the checkout desk. Peeking over, you spot a pair of zombies staggering past a display of periodicals. This shifts your focus on the rest of the library and its layout. A long central staircase sits on the far end, leading to a second-floor balcony. Between you and the staircase are rows of tall bookcases stretching 8 to 10 feet high. Along the right and left sides, offices and reading rooms line the walls. You hear random murmuring and screeches made by infected students other than these two roamers passing newspapers. You scan the room and spot a few in the young adult sci-fi section. Oh, hell yeah! They died reading books in the sci-fi section. I love that. And several more near the foreign languages aisle. With all the furniture and obstacles, you might be able to reach the second floor before the zombies can react and attack. With so much distance still need to reach Jamie, the risk could be worth it. Of course, you can't help your friend if you're dead, and sneaking through the library might be the best approach. As you consider your approach, you gaze across from the desk at an oversized bookshelf with new arrivals rising half the distance into the second floor balcony. Above it hangs a suspended platform, a flat wooden surface rigged with pulleys and ropes. Beside it hangs a banner for a book fair and fundraiser. If you can figure out how to use that contraption, it might be possible to climb the bookshelf and use a suspended platform to ascend to the next floor. However, if you fail to make it work, you'll lose precious time and might make noise that draws the undead. Given the various choices, move through the library at slow, careful pace, regardless of the time it takes. Sure, I guess we'll have to sneak. You draw a mental path through the library around the periodicals to the history book aisle, past the row of study tables, up the 2 sets of stairs to the balcony, and around the circle back to the front, where double doors lead to the second floor of the school building. You turn to Woody. "We're going to sneak through the library," you say in a hushed voice. Woody takes a deep breath and sighs, but he nods at the end of it. "If that's what you need to do, let's get to it." Wait for the few zombies in an immediate area to turn away, and then you rush to the back of the periodical stand. Old newspapers show key historical moments of the 21st century, though no titles mention the outbreak which ended civilization. From your right, you spot Woody lifting a Time magazine with a cover story on Native American tribal migration. Of course, I would assume that he would find something like that. Happy reading, Woody. With only 20 feet down, you hope to rush through the center aisle made by 2 tall bookcases, and they should keep you blocked from sight. You hurry to the start of the wooden shelves and stride through the center, scanning through gaps in the books on either side. A low, throaty grunt stops you in the middle of the aisle, and you glance over the top of a hefty history textbook. Standing on the other side of a bookshelf, a zombie sniffs the air like a dog and head tilted back. Eyes glazed, his skin is yellow, cracked and pocked, and a large hole in his shoulder shows the infection-causing bite. The border of the wound is a farm of writhing maggots in a field of pink flesh. Ugh, that's gross. You crouch low and wait for the zombie to move, either to attack or wander away. If it lunges through the bookshelf, you'll have to make a break for the stairs and hope to outmaneuver him on the balcony. You grab your M9 pistol and prepare for action. Time passes in near silence. Sweat forms on your brow and your legs shake in anticipation. Will you have time to run if the zombie spots you? With 30 or so feet to the stairs, the path ahead looks long. The zombie appears content to stick right in the same spot. If you stay here much longer, other zombies might wander past the aisle. As time goes by, your chances of survival plummet. You take a single step forward and then another. The zombie doesn't move. You pick up speed and keep low to the ground. The distance to the staircase shrinks, and long before you reach the carpeted staircase, you climb the first few steps and glance over your shoulder at a pair of zombies standing by a huge globe, as if they were staring at the world now ravaged by their disease. You turn back and hurry up the stairs with careful steps to avoid making any sound. Reach the balcony and spot a few students huddling near a table, their faces splattered in blood as they feast upon the body of a classmate. Ugh. You look past them and head for the double doors leading out of the library's upper level. As you pass an open office, you realize their system is going so well you could make a stop inside to look for food and other supplies. You make out vague shapes in the room, but you see no people, living or dead. Stacks of books surround a simple desk, and wall-to-wall bookcases line the room. You spend a few minutes scavenging. On the desk is a brown bag lunch with a sandwich, apple, and pudding pack. A water cooler stands in the corner of the room, and you can easily fill empty bottles of water. Under the desk is a box of candy bars with pamphlets asking for donations to the school band's candy fundraiser, as well as a case of soda. An Android phone sits in the middle of the table, the screen glowing with life. Among the stacks of text is a botany book, which might be useful for identifying edible plants. You almost miss a pair of glasses on a shelf. You spend a few minutes packing up supplies to take. And we have all of this. We already know this stuff we have in our inventory. We can take 11 more items. Excellent. We're going to take the soda, because hell yeah, I want the soda. You grab a can of soda and add it to your personal inventory. Wait, can we grab another soda? Can we grab 3? Wait, we gotta take the food. Okay. Take the botany book, because that's useful. Edible plants. Take candy bars. Water. 6 more items. Take the smartphone. Take another water. We have 4. Take another candy bar. I don't know if we're gonna fit the glasses. Why would you need the glasses? Gonna take them anyway. Take 2 more items. Okay, we'll take 1 more soda and 1 more water. Excellent, okay. You fill 3 empty bottles from the water cooler and add them to your personal inventory. As you finish with the supplies, you leave the office, careful not to draw attention from any of the wandering dead. With the path clear, you walk the length of the balcony to the double doors and exit the library. Excellent. Stepping out of the stairwell, you take a quick look through the hallway, and other than a few bodies lying on the floor, the area seems clear. Hey, I need to make a pit stop, Lloydie says, pointing to the lab boy's room sign. My stomach is killing me. Might be the smell or just the sight of all this. Give me a few. I'll be as fast as I can. As you wait for Woody, consider how to spend your time. Search the nurse's office, because that's useful. You know, medication and other things. You run through the hallway and stop outside of the nurse's office, listening for any movement, moaning, or other telltale signs of the infected. Hearing nothing, you peek inside and see no zombies in the main room. Taking slow, careful steps, you enter the room. The room is splattered with blood and human waste. Glass cases are smashed, and the main desk is overturned. A first aid kit lies on the floor, and various medical supplies are scattered around the room. A shadow falls upon the floor next to you. Spinning, you raise your M9 pistol and prepare to attack. Dark blood coats an exam door's upper window, and a pair of mangled hands claw at the surface. You leap back as the door rattles. You watch and wait, ready to fight or flee should the zombie escape. For all the pounding on the door, it remains locked. The zombie, on the other hand, has no way to reach you. Though its presence makes you feel uneasy, feeling safe enough to stay, you search the room for supplies. Behind a desk, you spot a broken glass cabinet, but several items remain. A tube of antiseptic ointment, bandages, and a bottle of painkillers. Under the desk is a splint to stabilize a broken leg or arm, and on top of the desk lies a pair of glasses and a box of bandages. In the corner of the room is a sink. You turn on the faucet and are surprised the water is still flowing. You leave no space unchecked, searching through every inch of the office. Your effort pays off when you find a small metal case under a pile of broken wood. Inside is a bottle of antibiotics and numerous vials of insulin. With the room searched, you separate the items you wish to take. Oh, we can take more items. Okay, we're definitely taking the first aid kit. And the antibiotics. Take this. We need a splint? Sure, take the splint. Why not? Antiseptic ointments. Take more antibiotics. Take insulin? I have no idea. Take antibiotics again. We have 4. Bandages. Take the rest. I'll just take in painkillers. Painkillers. There we go. You take a small bottle of painkillers and add it to your personal inventory. As you finish collecting gear, you step into the hallway and hear the pounding of footsteps from behind. Hey! We need help, a voice says. Turning, you spot two teenagers, a boy and a girl, running towards you. She wears a pink hoodie and leather backpack with camel pants and sandals. He wears a sports jersey and shorts and carries a lacrosse stick. She runs up out of breath and paces in front of you. Thank God I found you, you reply. Hey, shut your face! There are zombies and bandits, lady. I know they were going to kill me, she says, or I'd get infected. I thought they were going to kill me. Or, okay. You don't know how happy we are to find other living people, the young man says. I'm Chloe, you say, and I'm glad to see other living beings, too. I'm Brody, the young man says, and this is my twin sister, Madison. Oh my God. Madison Milford, she says. You know, the Milfords who build everything in this town? And I'm Woody, Jamie's cousin, as strides through the hallway, buckling his belt. Oh my, Madison says, her lips purse in displeasure. She covers her nose and whispers to Brody. He smells. Brody frowns at his sister and extends a hand to shake. Good to meet you, sir. You should get somewhere safe, you say, scanning in all directions for signs of trouble. Your group moves to the stairwell and ascends to the third floor. Brody leads the way, his lacrosse stick raised like a samurai sword ready to strike. The day after the outbreak, we heard the school was abandoned, Brody says. We left our house and came here, figuring there were tons of supplies. Turns out it wasn't really abandoned. The principal, Mr. Buckley, told everyone to go home. Some kids stay behind. Their parents weren't home, or they were too scared to leave. So the school set up a shelter in the gym. Well, and this is the screwed up part. Some kids were infected. So instead of getting them away from the other students or getting them help, Mr. Buckley locked them all inside. He killed them all. They all turned. Oh my. They're all silent for a moment, and as Brody's words sink in, hundreds of students are sacrificed, all of them given shelter and then forced to become zombies due to the panic or ignorance. You near the doors to the stairwell, and Brody peeks through the small glass window. Looks clear. He swings the door open and holds it to let everyone pass. You stare into a hallway flushed in the pale glow of floodlights. One floor to go, and you'll reach Jamie. So what are you doing here? Madison asks, sticking him close to your side. Saving my friend Jamie. Bandits chased him in here and trapped him on the roof. Your group turns a corner and you hear a short pop like a firecracker. Madison cries out and you spot a flash of red. Something hits your face and you wipe your forehead. Blood. Yikes. You stand frozen in the hallway of the third floor with blood in your hands and Madison crouched against a wall holding her wounded arm. At the end of the narrow corridor, a submachine gun is pointed at you as a red-haired woman maneuvers around the broken classroom furniture scattered in her path. Oh, hell no! Run! Brody shouts. Then he scoops up Madison in his arms, kicks in a classroom door, and runs inside. More bullets whiz by your head, and you waste no time ducking to the classroom. You slam the door shut and back away as a flurry of gunshots sound off in the hallway. Woody swings his rifle around and aims at the door. Brody lays Madison on the teacher's desk, and she wails and holds her arm. The room has 4 rows of lined chairs with built-in desks for several cabinets with supplies against the walls. On the far end, a door reads, Mrs. Mulligan. You sit in the first seat close to the door and contemplate your next move. Brody rushes to a cabinet and grips on one end. Let's block the door, he says, and you help slide the huge piece of furniture. The gunfire stops, but you hear hurried footsteps in the hallway. Open up, the red-haired woman yells, and the door rattles and pushes the cabinet back an inch. Why are you doing this, you psycho? Madison yells. Laughter comes through the door. I know you were here for Jamie. We heard him call one of you, named Chloe. If you come out, everyone else will live. You're dead, you yell. Your anger boils over and you start to shove the cabinet aside for to free up the door. Brody touches your shoulder. If you let her in, we're all dead. You turn and punch the wall, which calms you down enough to walk away. You have 3 minutes to open this door. If I have to bust my way in, you're all dead, the red-haired woman yells. What are we gonna do? Brody says, hands on his hips as he catches his breath. His face gaunt and his skin looks pale. You run over to the Madison and check her arm. A small cut in her right tricep is the only wound. The bullet grazed your upper arm. You'll be fine, you say. It hurts, she says and bites her bottom lip. Once this crisis is over, I'll take care of it. You quickly consider all the possibilities for getting out of this mess. To save Woody and the twins, you could run through the teacher's office, make your way into the hallway, and draw the red-haired woman away from the classroom. Maybe you could lose her in a school or find equal ground to fight back. This puts you at a considerable risk. You could also sneak out and attack her while she's focused upon the door, though she might still break into the classroom and kill everyone. You might be able to convince Brody to distract the red-haired woman long enough for you to escape and find Jane. He could help you deal with the bandit. But right now, I am going to leave this episode here. Again, that was really stupid of me to leave it on such a cliffhanger and right in the middle of when we were supposed to decide something. But I hope you enjoyed this, and this episode was a bit longer. I honestly thought I was going to finish this chapter in here, but there's so much to it, and I'm glad. I'm enjoying this story a lot, and I hope you are too. But for now, I am going to leave this episode here. So thank you so much for watching, and like always, I will catch you all in the next video. Stay awesome. Bye.